Daf Yomi Tractate Menachot, page 82b, top of the page. Can you say the same with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations, which requires the placement of blood on the altar and the sacrificial portions be consumed by the altar? Amar lo harehu omer ve'avadita es havaya zayit b'chayit hazeh shiyu kol avodas shel chodesh hazeh kazeh. Rabbi Eliezer said to him, the Paschal offerings should be compared as the verse states with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations, and it shall be, when the Lord shall bring you into the land of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall perform this service in this month. Exodus 13, verse 5. This indicates that all the services of this month for the generations shall be like this, the Paschal offering of Egypt. For Rabbi Akiva, Isavarla, the Ein Danin, Efshal, Ishi, Efshal, Neku, B'mir say. The Gemara discusses the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Initially, Rabbi Akiva rejects the statement of Rabbi Eliezer based on the claim that one cannot derive the possible from the impossible. Then he rejects the statement of Rabbi Eliezer of the technicality, namely, that the two Paschal offerings have different sacrificial requirements. The Gemara therefore challenges, and as for Rabbi Akiva, if he holds that one does not derive the possible from the impossible, then let him stand by his statement. And if he retracted and conceded that one derives the possible from the impossible, and the fact that he did not derive the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations from the halacha of the Paschal offering in Egypt, is due to that refutation that he proposed, meaning that the Paschal offerings are different than the Paschal offering that was sacrificed in the second year in the wilderness will prove that this refutation is incorrect. The offering did require placement of the blood and sacrificial portions on the altar, yet it was brought only from non-sacred money, and there were no tithes in the wilderness. But Devarav, the Rabbi Eliezer Komar Lididi, Ein Danin Efshar Rishi Efshar, Lidachtam Danin Efshar Rishi Efshar Ma'alef Slag Mitzrayim Shikein Ta'un Matan Damim Ve'Murin Rabbi Mizbeach Ta'un Pesach Dayeresh Ta'un Matan Damim Ve'Murin Rabbi Mizbeach. The Gemara explains Rabbi Akiva stated this objection in accordance with a statement of Rabbi Eliezer. He meant as follows: according to my opinion, one does not derive the possible from the impossible. And this is a sufficient reason why one cannot derive the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations from the halacha of the Paschal offering in Egypt. And even according to your opinion, in which you said that one derives the possible from the impossible, this comparison can be refuted. What is notable about the Paschal offering sacrificed in Egypt? It is notable in that it did not require the placement of blood on the altar, nor that the sacrificial portions be consumed by the altar. Can you say the same with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations, which requires the placement of blood on the altar, and that the sacrificial portions be consumed by the altar? And in response to this, Rabbi Eliezer said to him that the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering of the required of the generations should be derived from the halacha of the Paschal offering in Egypt. We're mamish in the holiday Pesach right now, since the verse states with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations that you shall keep this service in this month. Rabbi Eliezer lemole Pesach min dvarechiach. We're asked, but why must Rabbi Eliezer recite this verse? Let him say to Rabbi Akiva, the Paschal offering brought in the wilderness will prove that this refutation is incorrect, since it did require placement of the blood and consumption of sacrificial portions on the altar, yet it was brought only from non-sacred money. The Dvav Rabbi Akiva Kamalei Ledidi Denin Efshar Mishai Meshi Efshar. Umishum Hai Pircha Pesach Midbar Yochiach Ledidach Diamart Ein Denin Efshar Meshi Efshar Biavaditam. The Gemara responds, Rabbi Eliezer stated his opinion in accordance with the statement of Rabbi Akiva. He meant as follows: in my opinion, one derives the possible from the impossible. And as for that refutation that you raised, that the Paschal offering was in Egypt and the Paschal offering of the generations have different sacrificial requirements, the Paschal offering of the wilderness will prove that this is not a valid refutation according to your opinion, in which you said that one does not derive the possible from the impossible. The verse states that you shall keep this service in this month, indicating that the Paschal offering is of the generations is compared to the Paschal offering in Egypt. Hashta nami lefroch amaruv sheishes oisum amos shivin alehekesh. The Gemara challenges, but even now the Rabbi Akiva refute this comparison by the same claim that one cannot derive the possible from the impossible. Rav Sheshet says, that is to say that one cannot refute a juxtaposition, meaning one cannot refute such a derivation based on reasoning. Uf tarbitza amur chi davar halamid behekesh choyre u'amid behekesh be'ishlamei tomorrow pesach kulei chalim milsei. And in the study hall, which is tarbitza, they discussed the statement of the Mishnah that the halacha that all obligatory offerings must be brought from non-sacred property is derived from the Paschal offering of the generations, and they said, but can a matter derived via juxtaposition, meaning the Paschal offering of the generations whose halacha is derived by juxtaposition from the Paschal offering in Egypt, each again teach a matter via juxtaposition? The Gemara responds, this is not considered an instance of a matter derived by juxtaposition teaching a matter derived by another juxtaposition. Rather, the statement of the Mishnah that all offsprings are juxtaposed to Paschal offering was stated in a general manner, since the entire Paschal offering is one matter. The Paschal offering is in Egypt, and the Paschal offering of the generations are both referred to as the Paschal offering. Rabbi Akiva Pesach Deinu Ba Ella Menachule Menale Nafkale Miha Domer Shmuel Mishum Rabbi Eliezer Zois HaTorah L'Oila Min Cholachatas V'Asham V'Lamluim Shlomim. The Gemara asks, and asks Rabbi Akiva, who rejects the proofs of Rabbi Eliezer, from where does he derive that the Paschal offering comes only from one non-sacred money? The Gemara responds, Rabbi Akiva derives it from that which Shmuel said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer. It is stated, this is the law of the burnt offering, and of the burnt offering, and of the sin offering, and of the guilt offering, and of the inauguration offering, and the sacrifice of peace offerings. Leviticus 7:37. This verse connects all the specified offerings such that individual aspects of each offering are applicable to all of the offerings. Oilam ma'ali tuna keli afkol tun keli ma'hi ilim mizra kali zivchei shamit tzibur namik siv vayosim baganos. The Gemara details these aspects, or states of the burnt offering, to teach that all of the offerings are like a burnt offering, in that just as a burnt offering requires utensil in its preparation, so too all the other animals require utensil. What is the utensil? If we say it is a bowl, a utensil used for something collecting blood, as is learned from the burnt offerings that were sacrificed on Mount Sinai, that cannot be correct. As a utensil for collecting blood does not need to be learned from burnt offering. With regard to communal peace offerings, it is also written, and they offered burnt offerings and they sacrificed peace offerings. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins. Exodus 24:5. ela sakin. The oil go from Menala, Nixiva, Yishtach Avram, Yadog, Kakas, Mechanas, Chos Benoi, Yosmaini, Nixiva, Yadog, Takas Benoi. Rather, the term utensil must be referring to a knife, as the slaughter may be performed only with a knife, and not with a sharp stone or reed. The Gemara asks, and with regard to a burnt offering itself, from where do you know that it must be slaughtered with a knife? This is learned from that which is written, and Abraham stretched forth his hand and took forth the knife to slaughter his son. Leviticus 22 verse 10. And there Abraham was sacrificing a burnt offering, as is written, and he offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Okay, Genesis 22 verse 13. Mincha. No, I'm sorry. Mincha ma mincha. Ein nechel el zichri kahuna aft kol ein nechel el zichri kahuna mai. The Gemara continues to expound the aforementioned verse in Leviticus 7:37. When the verse mentions a meal offering, it teaches that just as the meal offering is eaten by males of the priesthood, to Leviticus 6:9-11, so too are all of the offerings mentioned in this verse eaten only by males of the priesthood. The Gemara asks, with regard to what offering is it that the halacha must be derived? If one suggests that it is with regard to the sin offering and the gift offering,